Hi, I'm Donald with Steam Bright Supply, and today we're going to briefly talk about some of the features from the US Products PEX 500. Now this unit has dual 3-stage vac motors, 500 psi, and a dual mode heating system that lets you run it depending on how much electricity you want it to pull. You can run it with basically one element or two. Now to start off on this machine, we've removed 4 bolts that come in here, and down here there's another bolt, and you have, these are actually Allen wrench. This is to mate the motor and basically the main components, the drive components of the machine, to the tanks, the waste tanks on the top and the fresh water tanks on the bottom. And some features that you'll notice besides being able to clip your wand in is the fresh water tank is lower, so when you're actually going to be pouring your water into the machine, you don't have to pick up 45 pounds of water and try to balance it into a higher tank, so it's much lower, and that makes it a little bit easier. The other thing that I like on this machine is that these little wheels back here on the handle allow you to tip the machine back for easy loading, and they have an assist handle all the way down here at the bottom and the front that you can put your hand into, so as you lean it up against the bumper right down here, you can actually just lay the machine back and then just kind of pick it up and roll it into the truck. Naturally, you have to take the wand off to do that. Now, in order to open this up, what I'm going to do is you just have to unclip the dump hose, which is on the side, lay it over. I'm going to take the wand off real quick. Set that aside. By the way, the wand that you get with this unit is a 2-jet wand, and it's 12 inches wide. Excuse me. Also, I'm just going to show you, they do have some clips that kind of swing out on the side. This allows you to store things on it or actually wrap your hose set around the machine in case you've got to transport it some distance. Another thing I do like about it is the type of tires that they're using on these. These are non-marring, semi-pneumatic, which means they're kind of stiff and cushy at the same time. Now I'm going to go ahead and just kind of lift this up. Now, when you first open it up, you'll notice that in here, this hinge mechanism made out of stainless steel is not all the way around the axle. So if I wanted to completely remove this, I could actually take this hose clamp off and this hose clamp off, and this entire tank would completely come off the machine for servicing it down here open. Probably one of the things that a real plus for this machine is it's really easy to service. They've added some quick disconnects. Like if you look at the pump here, we've got a quick disconnect on the pump, on the suction side, here and here. I'm sorry, that's the pressure side on this one. They got the head turned over, and also on the pressure gauge. I don't know if you can see up in there. Yeah. So even for servicing the pressure gauge, you can just take the quick disconnect off and be able to do that. Now to service the motor, they actually this hose clamp. If you take this hose clamp off in those quick disconnects, this pump actually just lifts out. So literally within just a few minutes, you can access the pump if you need to clean out the head.
Heater mounts the same way.
Yeah, the heater mounts the same way. There's a hose clamp right here that you can take the hose clamp off and just lift that heater out. And they put swivels on the heater here and here and here, so that you can don't have to worry about twisting your hoses up, getting it off. Down here on the bottom, this is a heat sink DC to AC bridge rectifier, which is used on these types of motors. This is a DC motor, but because you're plugging it at AC current, you have to have that bridge rectifier. This pump has a real nice cooling fan on the back end of it, which is also kind of a unique feature. You don't see that on a lot of portable extractors where they have a separate, more robust cooling fan mounted on it. Now here on the 3-stage vac motors, you can see what's happening here. This is the suction side of the cooling part. So it's actually going to be drawing in cold air from the back of the machine, pulling it up in here, and keeping these motors cool. Now these vac motors are actually mounted in series, which means that the exhaust of this first vac motor actually sucks into, blows into the intake of this motor here. So you have kind of a flow of action here, and then this hose here where both vac motors pulled in series are going to hook into the tank. And another feature I wanted to point out to you is around the perimeter they've added a really nice gasket material. Now this gasket material is going to do a better job of dampening the noise, keeping the vibration of the two housings from making a weird noise, and also to help keep contaminants from accidentally spilling into the motor cavity. The advantage to using this type of drain hose is that being that you don't have a traditional gate hose, it's fairly simple and won't really ever break. You can actually just pull the plug off, and when you lower it, and it doesn't leak. A lot of gate valves, they have a tendency to kind of develop a lot of trash in the gasket material area, and when you go to close them, they don't completely seal off, and you have a tendency to lose vacuum when you're using it, and when you're not using it, it'll drip water and mud onto the floor. So check out our website for other updates. Thank you.